Hey friends, you're here with me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, and we are doing a story time. I got this lovely curtain for myself for Christmas so that we could do story times. I've got a little notebook here, which I'm not going to use as a planner, so I thought, okay, I'll just note down what I'm going to do for story times. So here we go. You guys know Peggy. You know Don, that's my dad. You know I have two brothers. They're 8 and 10 years older than me. Both of them are kind of local here in Washington. I see them a few times a year. Well, back in the day, a lot of us when we were in when I was in my older teens, I think, this story's called GINA, okay? It's called the GINA video. And this person, Gina, is not in our lives anymore, and of course I'm not going to give you a last name, but forever, Peggy had this neighbor, and his name was Marty. So, Marty had, when we moved to the neighborhood where she lives now, Marty had 3 kids, a wife who was young and fit, and they were just really into, current things. So they were a big, parental figure I looked up to because my parents were so much older than me, and I got along really well with their kids. They had a trampoline, they had swing set in the back, so I was over there all the time. Well, as I grew up, Marty sadly couldn't hang on to a wife for his life. He's a great man. So what happened was, him being the great man he is, got tricked by a lot of tricksters. And one of the wives, not Gina, but one of the wives was actually, when we looked into her past, had married 6 men, and all of the marriages lasted under a year. So anyway, Gina, they had been married 2 years. And basically, I was upstairs in the loft. Peggy's house has a big garage with a mother-in-law loft attached to it. And I was living in that loft area. There's big windows, and from the loft area out, you could see to Marty's front yard. And so, I think he had been married to Gina maybe a year. It wasn't super long. And she was just, very sexy lady. She would always, my dad would say she would always go out to pick apples from her tree in her little tiny, booty shorts, or a nightgown, but it was way too short, and she'd be like, "Hi, Donnie," and my dad would just blush and go inside because he wouldn't really know what to do. So anyway, I was looking down from the loft one day, and I saw Gina, and she was gardening, in a skirt, and she was gardening in a halter top that tied in the back, and a halter tie, little crop thing. And mind you, she's 45, which, fine, I'll probably be 45 still wearing that stuff. However, I'll be wearing that stuff inside my home with my loving husband. She is outside, thinks she's in some kind of, for lack of a better word, maybe a porno movie or something, and just saying hi to everybody, and literally, I grabbed my video camera, because I'm with my friend, I go, I can't not video this. I know the video exists somewhere, I just can't figure out where. I think actually Lily's father might have it. So I have to talk him into trying to find the video. If I find the video, I'll of course show it, but I'll blur out the face, everything. I grabbed my camera so I could zoom in. Not because I'm a pervert, but just to see, if I was down there. Because the loft is pretty far away. It may be 400 feet from where she was, okay? So I thought, well, if I zoom in, I could see just what I would see if I was standing right next to her. And granted, she has neighbors come in and out of her yard all day long. There's on the road 10 or 12 people, and they just come in and out. Because she says, "Hi, come over, and I'll pick you some apples," or whatever. And when she wears high heels and this tiny little robe. All right. So, of course, every time my dad would see her, he'd run inside. So I decided to video. And I do this zoom-in shot as if I was standing right next to her. And she was wearing underwear. But you could see everything I could maybe draw you a picture. That might be funny. Let's see if I can draw a picture. It was like... I'm not the best drawer, you guys, so don't laugh. But she was bent down in her garden, and all you could see were her buns and the skirt. And then all of her bits I'm just going to do in fluffily that'll look like hair. Okay, if you were behind her, it would have looked like this. Her skirt would have been up here, and these are her boobs, and these are her legs. Everything was hanging out. So her underwear, and they were thongs. It was a thong. That picture, I'm doing my best for you guys. So I video, and it's just insane. I decided, like, to myself, why did I do that? Does that make me some kind of crazy voyeur? Does that make me a pervert? What does that make me? It makes me hilarious, okay? Because what did I do with that video? After Marty separated from this woman, which didn't take very long, like they were married, I think, total 2 or 3 years, I showed it to Marty. Marty thought it was hilarious. I asked Marty, do you mind if I showed this to my friends and family? He thought, no, that's hilarious. So I would bust it out at parties. Anytime the mood would get low, or like a family event would get boring, or there was one person there who hadn't seen it, it made the whole family roll over in laughter just to watch the one person. And they would look at me like, you're filming this? Why are you filming this? And everybody's there's like, shh, just wait. Like, everyone's all of a sudden in support of this GINA video. When I would show up places, they would ask me, Jen, do you have the GINA video? And remember, this is not in the time of cell phones. It's just not attached to your pocket. But I would keep the video camera in the car for if I was in a place where I felt like the mood would get too sad, I would bust out the GINA tape. So anyway, there's my little like 7-minute story on the GINA tape. I hope you enjoyed my drawing. All my family members that see this and friends of mine that were friends anywhere from 1995 through 2005, they've all seen the GINA video. GINA, you're a piece of absolute shit for doing what you did to Marty, and you deserve what happened to you. I don't feel like a pervert, and all of my family members agree with me. You guys, I'd love to hear comments. Have you ever done anything fun like this? Did you like my first story time? Do you enjoy the lipstick I'm wearing? I grabbed it and it was calling to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but this is some Urban Decay Scandal. It's a little sampler. Normally I don't wear pinks, but I feel like with the lighting it did really good with my red curtain. Have a really good day, you guys. Come back for more story times because I'm kind of sitting down and doing that this morning. Then after that, I will be getting way more into witchcraft and doing some spells and workings for you guys today. All my love, Jen the Taxidermy Witch. Story time, baby!